You're thinking about moving. When you engage in this process, many people will talk to you about the logistics and how to make it work, but very few will talk to you about the psychological aspects of moving and buying a home. And that's what I want to talk to you about today. Stick around. When you decide to move, sell, or buy a new home, much of the decision is logical. You measure out the finances, the timeline, but a lot of the decision is emotional, more for some than others, but regardless, it's emotional. Being a licensed counselor in my former career, I thought I'd address this important but less talked about part of moving and buying a home. These aspects or stages are less prevalent or even non-existent with snowbirds, people who can afford to maintain two or three residences. But many are not in that position. The, the aspects are often far less prevalent in people that are less emotional. As you experience in your life, some people tend to feel things a little more than others. These aspects also exist on a continuum. Some may experience each of these stages deeply, some may experience them at a level 10, and some may experience them at level 1, and some may not experience them at all. But while the aspects generally adhere to a sequence, and the steps kind of in order, many people experience them out of order or repeat steps over and over again. A lot of this I'm going to talk about here is based on Elizabeth Kubler-Ross and others, their research on stages of grief, loss, and change. But some of this is anecdotal, and some of it's from personal experience, and some of it's from working with folks throughout my career. So let's talk about the psychological parts of this process. At some point or level, there's dissatisfaction. It might be dissatisfaction at work. It might be just a need for a change. Maybe you hate the weather. Maybe you just need a change of scenery. Maybe you just want a second home, but there's a desire or a dissatisfaction. So once you decide you're going to move, next comes the financial planning. Well, what can you afford to move to, and what kind of house do you want? Can you retire? What are you willing to spend? Once you have made the decision moving and buying a home is going to be a reality for you, then you move into the planning and research phase of buying the home. With the planning and research phase, you do a lot of internet research. You talk to a lot of people. You research real estate agents. You research builders. And that's where somebody like me can help. I've been through the process. Um, I know the area. Uh, I have experience in helping people find what they need and be happy with what they need and help them deal with the ups and downs of the process. And next comes purchasing the home and managing the expectations. It doesn't all go smoothly. Whether you're selling a house or you're buying a house, it sometimes doesn't end up absolutely perfect. And if you're like me, a bit of a perfectionist and a little bit of a control freak, that can really throw you for a loop. So you have to be prepared for the ups and downs of the process. One of the biggest reasons why people are dissatisfied, whether it be with their marriage, work, or any aspect in life, is unrealistic expectations. No one likes for things not to go as they thought or they prepared. Some people may be moving because they're trying to get away from something or moving towards something they think will make their life much better. And in a lot of cases, they could be right. But in most cases, wherever you go, there you are. You bring your problems and who you are with you. A new area won't necessarily solve all your problems. It may actually create some problems along the way. But being realistic and realize what you're going through is key in the process of moving and buying a home. Having realistic expectations and moving for the right reasons and finding a house that feels right and is right is key to making the right choice. Next, you move into being immersed and overwhelmed by the logistics, the planning, the implementation, the process. During this phase, you don't have time to be emotional. You don't have the energy to feel introspective. You're wrapping up work or changing jobs, you're dealing with kids. That phase is overwhelming and doesn't give you a chance to really step back and take a look at the choices you're making. So next comes settling in. Here's where you're still distracted with learning the area, setting up the home, meeting neighbors, meeting new friends, getting friends and relatives to come visit you. Here, again, you're a little bit overwhelmed. You're starting to settle and think about the choices that you've made. That brings you to the next page, which is slowing down. Here's where you begin to feel and evaluate. Please note here, some people don't experience this aspect at all, and they jump right into resolution, acceptance, and satisfaction, and happiness. However, some experience, what did I do? What mistake did I just make? I miss my old friends. I miss the places I used to go. I miss the weather here is hot. There's bugs, there's gators, strange birds. I miss the seasons. I want to be near my grandchildren, my family, my friends, and they start to feel some regret. It's a form of buyer's remorse, but it's more psychological. If you experience this, just get through it. It takes 6 months to a year and a half to really settle and have a perspective where you can evaluate your choices. Don't make any rash decisions here. Just get through it. So now you move toward resolution. And with this aspect, sometimes the extreme happens and people sell their house, they move home to be with friends, family. However, most people experience this aspect in a way that the new place slowly becomes home. You stay in touch with friends, some move down. Here you feel like you belong. It's becoming home. Now, some don't experience this at all. They're happy from the beginning. They're so glad they moved. Maybe where they were living wasn't so great. Um, and they move into a period of happiness directly. They skip this little regret stage. And this regret stage is where sometimes people will call me and be, not be happy in their choices. And this is where I ask them, slow down, give it a minute, and let's reevaluate in a little while. So there you have it. This is what to expect from a psychological standpoint when you make one of the most important and life-changing decisions that you can make. Again, some may not experience any of these aspects, and others may experience all of them, and some may experience them out of order. But just the fact that you have this knowledge and awareness can help you know what to expect and deal with in regards to feelings and behaviors and thoughts that you have in the home buying process. And if you think that I might be the person to help you through this process, give me a call. My information is on the screen and in the description below. See you in the next one.